Hi everyone, you welcome back to the channel. My name is Sarah. On today's video, we'll be cutting and sewing this beautiful cow neck top. I made use of Dolce's satin 1.5 yard. If you're new to the channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button. Share this video with your sew friends. So guys, let's get right into it. So to cut this cow neck top, I'll be making use of this pattern paper and I'll be drafting the front and the back on this pattern paper. This line here you see is my startup line. The fabric will be on fold. So now I came in here by 0.75 as a guide that this pattern paper is on fold. The next you have to do is to get your shoulder measurement. The shoulder I'm working with is 14 divided by 2 will give me 7. I will add ½ inches for seam allowance. You know it's an armless cow neck top. Then I'll come down from this my shoulder measurement by 1 inches and mark. Then we have to now get the width of the neckline. I will use 3 inches for the width of my neckline. Then the depth of my neckline, I want the depth to be 1 inches. Now connect the necklines together. After connecting the neckline, now the next you have to do is to connect this 1 inches we have here, the width of the neckline this way. After doing this, now we have to get the chest line. So to get your chest line, you divide your bust by 6 plus 1.5. After getting the figure, you minus ½ inches from it because you are drafting the armless. But when you want to put sleeve on your top, you don't need to minus ½ inches. So after doing that, I have 8.5. I will minus ½ inches from 8.5. I will have 8 inches. So here I'll put down 8 inches here for my chest line. After getting the chest line, the next you have to do is to get from the shoulder to the waist. From shoulder to waist, I'll make use of 17 inches. Then from shoulder, you keep your tape there, you get the length of your top. For the length of my top, I'll make use of 26 inches. This is 26 inches here. So now connect these lines together. So I'm through the connecting of the lines together. This is the chest line, the waist, and the length of the top. So now after doing that, now you bring down your shoulder measurement on your chest line, which is 7.5 inches. Now connect to the straight line. After connecting the armhole, now you divide what we have here. You divide it into 2. 8 divided by 2 will give me 4 inches. I'll mark my 4 inches here. Then because we are drafting the front and the back pattern, the first we have to do is to get the front armhole. For my front armhole, I will come in by 0.75 and mark here. Then for the back armhole, I will come in by ½ inches. This is ½ inches. So now you connect first the back armhole first, then you do the front armhole. So I'm done connecting my armhole. Now the next I have to do is to divide the bust by 4. The bust I'm working with is 44. 44 divided by 4 will give me 11 inches. Now add 1 inches for seam allowance. Then the next we have to do now is to work on the waist. So the waist I'm working with is 38. 38 divided by 4 will give me 9.5. So here I'll put down 9.5. Then I'll add 1 inches for ease. So I can be able to put on this top easily. 1 inches for ease. 1 inches for seam allowance. So on the hem of my top, I will put down my upper hip, which is 42. 42 divided by 4 will give me 10.5. So here I'll put down 10.5 here. Then I'll add 1 inches for ease, 1 inches for seam allowance. So now connect these lines together. First you connect from your bust to your waist. Then you connect from waist to hip. After connecting the lines together, on the side of my top here, I'll come up by 1.5 inches. Then I'll connect it to the center of the top. You know this top is a free top, you don't have to put that. I'm done connecting the hem of my blouse, the 1.5 down to the center of the front. Now cut this out. I'm through with the cutting of the pattern paper. Now we have to cut out on the fabric. I'll be cutting out the back first, then we'll cut out the front. I'm through with the cutting of the back. Now we have to cut the lining, and I want this lining to get to the armhole. We use it to turn the armhole and the neckline. So now I'll be cutting out the lining. I'll be making use of the main fabric as the lining for the back. Lining will be longer than the armhole. Will come down by 2 inches here. Now let me cut this out. I'm through with the cutting of the back lining. Now we'll cut out the front. So on the front, we'll be doing the slash and spread method. I will slash my pattern on the chest line this way. After slashing it, now we'll spread it. But before we spread, you have to give space. So we don't need to cut the lining separately. We'll be cutting the lining together. So now this space, I left like 13 inches upward. Now I'll adjust. Now we'll put back the pattern again and we'll spread. The more you spread, the deeper your neckline. I'll be making use of 8 inches to spread my pattern. I spread by 8 inches. I'll pin this down. So now after doing this, let me adjust the pattern so you can see what we are doing. So now the next we have to do, you follow the neckline this way and mark on a straight line like this, because we are cutting the lining together. What I did now, we use it to turn the armhole of my top. So I'll fold it like this and we'll cut out. Now you start cutting from the hem this way. I noticed my camera was not showing the up of the top. So I decided to show you how I place the top. You make sure the upper part of your pattern is above the fabric, like 1 inches. You can see the way it is. This is how you know you place your fabric very well. Let me turn it to the back. You can see how it looks here. Now I'm done cutting. Now I will separate my pattern paper from the fabric so you can see what I'm saying very well. After separating the pattern paper, you make sure you give this place a launch before you open it up. So now open it up for you to see. This is how it looks. We are done with the cutting. Now we'll start sewing this beautiful top. Now we have to go and sew the front armhole. You make sure the front of the fabric, the right side of the fabric, this is the right side and this is the back of my fabric. Now I will turn this, we'll cut the lining together, the front lining that we used to turn the armhole, and we launch. You have to launch this place to serve as this is where the lining is. Now we'll go and sew the armhole on 1/2 inches. So go and sew the armhole. I'll start from up here round this way. I'll do this for this armhole and the other armhole. I'm through with the sewing of the armhole for the front. You can see how it is, the both side of the front. Now I'll turn this to the front and give it a good press. Now we have to work on the back neckline. The first I have to do, I'll go to the machine. I'll be sewing the neckline on 1/2 inches. After sewing the neckline, I will turn the armhole also on 1/2 inches. I'll do this for this armhole and the other armhole. I'm through with the sewing of the back of my top and I've given it a good press. Now I've done the same thing also on the front. So this is my front. You can see the shoulder of the front is wider than the back. So what you do is just to give it a little plint the way I did. So now to plint this, you plint it towards the neckline, not towards the armhole. No, you go towards the neckline this way, just small, 1/2 inches. Then you check if it's okay with the back armhole. So now we check. It's okay with the back armhole. Now we have to join this top at the shoulder. This video is a bit complex. You have to pay close attention to what I'm trying to explain. The first you do is to turn your back of the top to the back this way, where the joinings are showing like this. Then you bring your front. Your front pattern should be at the front this way. You can see this is the front of my top. So now you make sure the right side of your back is facing the right side of your front. Then you come in from this lining this way like this. Then you pick it, neckline of the front and the neckline of the back will be together this way. Then you adjust the front to make sure it's okay like this. Then you go and sew on 1/2 inches. I will sew this for this side of my shoulder, and I'll do the same thing also on the other side of the shoulder. I'm through with the joining of the shoulder. You can see how neatly finished it is inside. Now the next we have to do is to join the sides of this top. I'll bring the front, this is my front, and this is the back, this way together like this. And I will just use the back lining to turn it this way, and I will be sewing this on 1/2 inches to the hem of my top. I'll do this for this side of the top and the other side of my top also on 1 inches, 1 inches down. I'm through with the joining of the sides. Next we have to do is to fold the hem of the top on 1/2 inches, tying in this way. I'll do this and give it a good press. I'm through with the pressing of the top. You can see how beautiful the cowl neck is sitting. Thank you, and thank you very much for watching to the end. I really appreciate you all. See you on the next one. God bless you.